Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum.
If memory serves, you've just turned on the light, flooding the roof with the purplish glow. There's a laughter and a scream. You blink. The room you are in is now bathed in violet light. Blindingly bright symbols cover the wall, like the writing of the mad. You see the words guilty and murderers splashed about in paint. You see a sketch, a rough approximation of the lighthouse keeper smashing the generator. Next to it, a dripping dotted gloved hand pulls a large mechanical switch. Underneath are the following words. This place with ghosts and haunting it hums. This lighthouse will fall when December comes. You look to the generator and you notice that Pocket Watson is glowing.
Okay, well, the first thing to do is go to Pocket Watson. How is my portly friend? I don't think we've ever said he's portly, but he definitely is.
Oh yes. Canonically. You go over to Pocket Watson, and it looks like whatever you did worked. Pocket Watson is scrambling about the screen, his bowler hat askew. He sees your face. Marcus, thank goodness I don't know what you did, but it worked. I've been able to latch onto your exhibit. You're in the Lighthouse Exhibit, or at least a twisted version of it. But if it behaves correctly, Wichita Bay is wiped out at midnight. So I don't know how you got in there, but you have to get out. You're still in the museum as far as I can tell, so solve the murder, and most of all, black smoke begins to cloud the screen. Careful who you trust. She isn't... The screen bleeds black ink, completely covering the image of Pocket Watson. Instead, Melanoi's face appears, smiling. Why, Marcus, if you wanted to get my attention, there's better ways than starting a haunt, though I appreciate the gesture. She laughs. Welcome to my little slice of nightmare. Here, not even Genevieve knows who you really are, though I'd bet you'd gather that. This is her as she was the night her sister died. She asked for a chance to save her sister, and me, being the kind, generous Newman I am, decided to give her that chance. For in dreams we can rewrite reality. So let's see if she's smart enough, shall we?
You are giving her the chance, but you erased all of her memories?
Well, my generosity, of course, has its limits. Speaking of, what do you see outside?
I glance outside.
You look out from the top of the lighthouse, out the balcony, and you see the cliffs are gone, the fort gone, the sky gone. Instead, below you is an endless ocean of black ink thrashing. As you watch, it rises, lapping at the base of the lighthouse. You can also almost make out shadowy limbs, faces twisted in fear, and things that hardly look human. This represents the coming storm. By midnight, this lighthouse will be overrun by nightmares. I do hope you figured everything out by then. Good luck.
Now, hold on. What do you want from me? Do you want me to foil your plan?
Foil my plan?
What do you have to gain in all this?
A few hours of entertainment, some endeavor generated by this whole ghastly affair.
So you're just chill with me solving a murder, hopping around here. What if I do something wrong? What if I mess up the whole experiment?
Well, I don't rightly know how that will turn out for you on your end. I'll be fine, though. It's in your best interest.
Well, tell me more about what's below us. What are these things clawing in?
What are these things clawing in?
I shut the pocket watch mid-sentence.
Ink drips away between your fingers, but she stops speaking.
I'm just curious, does it shut her up to shut the pocket watch?
Oh yeah. She cuts off mid-sentence.
As a side note, we call Pocket Watson Pocket Watch sometimes, and then an unfortunate side effect is now sometimes I call a pocket watch a Pocket Watts because I can't get the TCH sound back into my mouth. But who cares?
Alas.
Not me.
Well, the exhibit is yours.
And I hate it for that. Is in this room, is there still people? Is Emmeline and Genevieve in here?
They are in here. They appear to not have noticed or froze when you started speaking to the watch. Because the first thing Genevieve says is looking around. That was quite odd, wasn't it? I suppose you've done something to the light. I hope it's not irreparable.
Hey, would you mind looking outside with me? Just down at the waves?
She looks outside and pauses. That's not... Where's the fort? Where's the bay? Where are we?
Uh-huh. Can I get another set of eyes on this? Emmeline?
Emmeline, hearing her sister's distress, comes over and has a similar reaction.
Okay.
Both are surprised and shocked and scared.
Mm-hmm. So I would explain what's going on to you two, but I don't fully understand it myself. I think that our only chance to end what is happening is to solve a murder. And if we're fortunate, we may also prevent a murder.
Prevent whose murder? They both ask in unison.
One of yours, maybe? Is that upsetting to know?
It seems to be confusing.
I think we have until midnight. That is what I have heard. We have until midnight to do whatever we're going to do. I think I could use from the two of you any extra information on anything. Do you have any clue what occurred a year ago? What occurred last night? Are there any secrets you're keeping from me? Because we need them on the table now.
On the table. Right. Both of them pull out little notebooks. And they start breaking down. So, begins Emmeline. So, from what we've gathered, a year ago, the ship called the Melanoy crashed on a stormy night when there was supposed to be a light in the lighthouse. For whatever reason, the generator was broken, put in a request the previous week, but it was not connected. The power for the whole fort was off. The investigatory team found the keeper was not at fault, though rumors have unfortunately persisted. No, not at all in account to our unbiased and perfect journalism, I might add. But it seems that all 6 lives of the people on the ship were taken, as well as the life of, well, your mother. Sorry.
And a body was never found for any of these people?
No, your mother least of all, even though rumor is that your father searched for it quite extensively.
And the shipwreck itself was not recovered.
No. As far as anyone can tell, that it's gone, much to the chagrin of many a amateur treasure hunter, not to mention the Scarcity Corporation themselves.
See, from your newspaper, I learned a couple of various facts about the people on the ship, and I've encountered several curious things within this lighthouse that remind me of the individuals. It makes me feel like there's something more to be learned. I'm going to go over to the kind of generator lockbox and pull out that jar of sand that says from the Riviera. Did I remember that right?
Yes.
I'll say one of the individuals is apparently from the Riviera, and here we have sand from the Riviera. Maybe this is just a spurious connection, but it seems like there are perhaps artifacts from each of these people scattered about. I don't know if that means, could they have survived? Is it all just a coincidence? Was there something special about that vessel? I just don't know.
The full contents of the Scarcity ship, Melanoy, was never revealed to the public. Though we did do our due diligence and try to get a manifest, but we couldn't. So as to what exactly was on that ship, various jewels and jewelry, bits and bobs, but...
Well, I have a feeling there's probably some interesting stuff going on in this lighthouse now. So I think time is of the essence.
Oh, just now you think that?
Yeah, just now. I'm also going to gesture over the walls, which I can assume that they see themselves. I'm like, what is going on over here? Mr. Lighthouse Keeper, my father, however you want to refer to him, guilty, scrawled. Here we have a picture of my father bashing in the generator. I knew this to essentially be fact, that my father busted in the generator on the night of my mother's death. Here we have another...
They scribble that down in their notebook.
Great. I am talking pretty presentationally, so it only makes sense that they would scribble stuff down. But here we have a depiction of him busting the generator. You just said the electricity was out, and then this is the backup generator. So it's like a two-tiered thing. Like, was the electricity out on purpose, or did the generator, or was it just the generator that was intentionally disabled?
The generator by itself would not have been enough to turn off the light. That's why it's hooked up to the power system. So there's two failsafes, the generator and the fort's power system. Both were off.
I saw in a note somewhere it said, it's all our fault. As if Horatio Cuthbert didn't do whatever he did alone. And I feel like what would probably help add to his guilt would be the accidental death of his wife. Maybe whatever happened to the ship was a part of his plan. The part of his and perhaps someone else's plan. This reminds me of an earlier idea. What if it was an intentional shipwreck? Let's walk and talk. I think I want to start going down the corkscrew stairs.
Sounds good. Are you walking and talking, or do you want me to narrate what you see?
I do want to see stuff around me.
Okay. You walk down the central stairs, which has also been covered in paint splashes that glow under the new violet light. It seems to have spread down here as well. Sprawled across the mural of the mountain in the center are the words, "Hide it away, but if you'll never tell, we'll come back to drag you down as well."
Say that one more time for me.
"Hide it away, but if you'll never tell, we'll come back to drag you down as well."
A haunting indeed.
As you're coming farther down the stairs, you also see Acadia Quinn talking in animated tones to Vincent Elwood.
Yes, I assumed everyone would be in the lighthouse. Everyone had a reason to be here, and now here they all are. Okay. Let's go over to that conversation. What are they speaking about?
So you come down and you manage to overhear what they're talking about. Acadia is insisting that they've disturbed the spirits of the lighthouse and need to put them at rest, while Vincent is adamantly refusing to acknowledge they exist. You notice that his shoes are glowing brightly in the violet light.
His shoes?
Yes.
Vincent, your shoes are glowing brightly in the light. Look.
Oh my goodness. Well, interesting. He tries to wipe it off. A couple of flecks peel off.
Peel off.
But it looks like he's stepped in something.
Seems like evidence. Hey, Vincent, you have that shipping registrar that I gave you that you failed to give to what's her name, the kind old lady?
Oh, Alice, yes. I dropped it off afterwards. She was gone at the office, and so I just slipped it into the post myself.
Forgive me if I doubt it.
You're forgiven.
Thank you. You're confident you no longer have this dossier on your person.
He pats himself down. Sorry, I'm clean.
Arcadia, do you have any suggestions of where we start? I agree with you. We have disturbed some spirits. But what we do next is unclear to me.
Well, that entirely depends on how you want to run things. As she says this, there is a clattering from down the hallway. I apologize in advance. Things are going to get a little more crazy before they get tame.
Sure.
The police officer, Officer Mango, runs into the central staircase from the hallway. Who is all here in the lighthouse right now? He shouts. Before anyone can even answer, he points to everyone. You're coming with me down to the station right now. I'm closing this down as an active crime scene. He storms towards the door. Acadia puts her arm out. I don't think we can leave, not without angering the spirits. I've had enough of this. Everyone behind me now. Officer Mango opens the door. What happens next takes only a matter of seconds. Writhing shadows spill into the entrance. 2 rush towards you. A moment later, you feel your satchel wriggle as 2 objects tear the latch open and slither swiftly towards Officer Mango. You pause as you realize what the objects are. A tape recorder and a green rope. They wrap around Mango and he gasps, but no sound comes out. His walkie-talkie drops to the ground, followed by the rest of him. He is dead. Acadia Quinn slams the front door shut. No one is leaving.
And the tape recorder? What was that used for?
The tape recorder slithers out, little tape spools.
Like out the door it slithered?
No, it slithered around and wrapped itself around Mango like some audio snake.
Like some audio snake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's dead, and there was nothing I guess I could do about that. That was some cutscene stuff right there. Poor Mango.
Alas, you knew him well.
I don't think I did. Well, unsure of how soberly to handle another death.
Everyone's freaking out, pretty intensely. They just saw a rope and a tape recorder kill a man.
Not something you see every day. I think we need to head the direction that he came from because it sounds like he saw another dead body.
Okay. Are you doing anything? The tape recorder and rope have dropped off. The walkie-talkie's still on the ground. Are you doing anything before you leave?
It feels like such a loaded question.
Sorry, I just I need to know.
First of all, are these things wriggling around like actual snakes still? Are they moving at all?
They seem to be moving more lethargically now that the door is closed.
There's like not a black presence around them or anything like that.
If you mean a shadow, yes, there's a shadow around them now. If that is what you mean by black presence.
I think I'm trying to figure out, did a spirit just rush in, grab a rope and strangle him, or did the rope itself become animated like a snake and attack him?
It looks like the latter, like it has been possessed by a spirit. In fact, Acadia confirms this.
I don't know if I want to touch it. Usually when I deal with wriggling snakes. All right, let's take out something that we haven't used in literally so long. Let's find the moratoria amongst my things and flip that open.
You flip it open. A rippling shudder goes through the whole exhibit and everyone freezes.
Nathan just set a timer, I can tell. For listeners...
Crimson haze starts to creep into the edge of your vision.
For listeners who don't remember, this is a fun little game where Nathan is keeping track of how long I have frozen time because of some eldritch abomination I assume is coming to give me. I'm just opening this thing
your vision starts to blur.
long enough to grab... I want to look at the rope. This is totally not worth it. The rope and tape recorder are frozen as well?
Yes. They stop moving.
I tie them together in knots. I tie them both in knots, and I close the moratoria.
The whispering sound of static fades from your ears.
Great. It feels... I'm just waltzing through Nathan's house of bear traps here. Okay, I don't know if I still need a rope and a tape. I don't know if I need it. I don't know if I want it. But Nathan said before I left the room, I'm metagaming. He was like, do you want to do anything else? And I don't know if I do. Are they all tied up They're bunched up in knots now.
They're all tied up. Acadia actually picks it up and listens to it, holds up to her ear.
I was under the impression that the tape recorder couldn't be listened to because it's been unspooled.
Yes. She's like holding up as if she's listening to it, but then there's no sound coming out. It is just her psychic manner of attuning to said objects.
Mm-hmm. And what she got?
There are 2 souls inside here. Souls of the crew members.
Within the tape recorder and the rope, or within the tape recorder itself?
Tape recorder and the rope, 1 in each.
Do you think we want to be holding on to souls?
Personally, holding on to an object possessed by a soul is probably not the best course of action. If you wanted to release it, we could try to figure out how, but otherwise...
I guess we'll leave them here for now and know where to find them if we need to.
She nods. I'll do some research and see what I can dig up.
Okay. All right, let's head to where Officer Mango came from.
All right. So, you go down the hallway, and you notice that the kitchen door is open.
I'll walk into the kitchen.
You see, again, the kitchen is as it was before, except still bathed in the violet light, and you see a couple things. You still see the dumbwaiters there. You see the cans of vegetables are now on the counter. The locker is still there. There's still the large steamwork clock. You notice the time is 11:13.
The heck?
You also notice that the oven is on. And the paint cans have been knocked over, and the puddle of paint is gradually growing larger.
Are there footprints in the paint?
There are footprints in the paint, and they are glowing.
The paint itself is bioluminescent?
Yes, in this ghostly light.
Like what we saw upstairs, all of those paintings were painted probably with this paint.
Yes.
This violet light is a giant black light. This entire lighthouse is a black light.
Yes.
Of course. And is there anything else glowing in this room besides the paint cans?
Nope.
Where do the footprints begin and end?
It looks like they start at the puddle and they lead towards the dumbwaiter area by the lockers. So it looks like someone walked through it.
Mm-hmm. So this is Vincent Elwood's tracks. I don't know what I can learn by the fact that he was here in the kitchen. What is in the oven?
You open the oven and you see a scrap of paper burning away.
No. I wonder if the moratoria would work for this. Does this paper have any identifying characteristics? Is it the boat registrar?
It looks the same shape and size of the envelope that you handled. You notice that the edges of the envelope are actually, where it's sealed, is turning a deep purple color.
What the?
Before it burns away.
It's turning a deep purple. Is there any hope for me getting this out, or is it just like on fire?
You could take it out if you wanted. It's still intact enough. It's starting to curl away.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try to grab it.
Okay, you grab it out. The scraps are burned around the edges. You can still read some of the ledger, but it's pretty blackened. It does not smell great.
What's happening with these corners, the purple corners?
Nothing now that it stopped burning.
Okay. There's nothing else new or interesting about this besides it being a partially burnt thing?
Nope. It is the shipping manifest. Sorry, not the manifest. The log.
And still, I look at this and it means nothing to me in terms of comings and goings.
Yes, and that is okay.
Interesting. And all right, what else is happening in the kitchen?
As in terms of things you haven't looked at, or in terms of...
Yeah, I guess things that I haven't looked at. Like, I guess I'll check the dumbwaiter. Does that look different at all from how I last saw it?
It's closed. Do you open it up?
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll a d20. Just kidding.
I forgot to check for traps.
Classic mistake. You open the dumbwaiter to find the curled body of Alice Betherby staring back at you with dead eyes.
Well, rats. And also, this dumbwaiter is bigger than I imagined. This is like an elevator-sized dumbwaiter, I guess.
She's a small person, and she just barely fits in. Not super well.
And this is the sweet old lady.
Yes, the woman who's very enthusiastic to come and log all of the items in your father's junk room.
Huh.
She didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve any of this. Emmeline and Genevieve are still with you and are suitably distressed.
Good. As long as it's suitable.
Yes.
All right. Let's look at the body for evidence. What is the cause of death, and what types of things are like in her possession?
Genevieve pulls the body out with the help of Emmeline very carefully, and lays her on the ground. And you see that she has been shot with a harpoon. Sorry, I don't know. I'm doing a British accent. Genevieve's not narrating those.
Well, I've noticed that when you do actions as characters, you also do their accents, which is
very
pretty fun.
British way of doing it, obviously. Yes.
What a way to go. A harpoon. It reminds me of how our first mystery was the death of Ski Pole. It really feels like we're really just mad libsing at this point, just being like, what else can stab a person?
But what is real and what is the nightmare? What is actually happening?
Oh, well, that's a curious thing to say as well. Okay. Harpoon shot through the chest, the stomach.
The chest.
And does she have anything on her person, like pockets otherwise?
You leaf through. She has a small folded piece of paper. She has a small parcel of mint leaves and a ledger. It looks like a small journal she was keeping.
We're going to pocket the mint leaves, open up that note.
It is a decoding schematic for Morse code.
Oh my goodness. Okay. In her book?
You flip through the book. It looks to be a complete record of the comings and goings of the post office. As you flip towards the end, you see that she has started making a catalog of all the items in the junk room. Items you see, for example, harpoon gun, 1, barrels of rum, 3, crates of old rope, 4, gravestone, parentheses, year old, miscellaneous spirits, 23, anchors, 4. Here, she's stopped. This is the last entry. It says, "Anchor is a probable match. Similar stylings and markings used by the Melanoy. If this is truly the anchor, that means that there is a whole treasure trove of our historical artifacts to recover and preserve. Must tell them, could save financially." It stops there.
Well, this helps us understand her enthusiasm for getting inside the lighthouse, and also gives some credence to my theory that there are aspects in the lighthouse that are from the shipwrecked Melanoy. There's no Morse code in this book, and there's no like black light things glowing, nothing like that.
There is not.
Okay. For the comings and goings in the post office, for one thing, do I see that Vincent Elwood went into the post office when he said he did? Is there any record of that?
There is no record of that.
I guess I could figure that out, that this dossier is partially burnt. I could have figured that out. And what about Horatio? Is there any record? I guess, is there anything else I can learn from the comings and goings in the post office?
Nothing of note.
Okay. Well, this entry in hand about the anchors and such, I think I want to go to the junk room, and I guess I say to the sisters, this is a tragedy. This is horrific. I do think that we're still on a timetable here, and if anything, this adds urgency. I believe that there is a murderer amongst the living, not just the spirits that are clearly intent to kill us on the outside.
Genevieve nods her head. Exactly, which is why we need to focus on this dumbwaiter.
We need to focus on the dumbwaiter?
Exactly. She runs over to her and sticks her head in.
Oh, this is a good point. Does the dumbwaiter go up and down?
That's exactly what I'm saying. If it goes up, sure, it goes to the tower, whatever. But if it goes down, and it looks like it does from the gap I can see, where does it go? There's no basement as far as I can tell.
Oh, boy. We do know something is below, huh?
Emmeline butts in, but Genevieve, the anchors, we need to go check that out, like Marcus said. Or like Cornelia said.
Is this a decision point, or are these people just telling me two things that I can get to in the order I choose?
Genevieve is gonna stay with the dumbwaiter. Emmeline's gonna go to the anchor room. To the junk room.
Well, that makes it hard too, because only one of these people I know is fated to be murdered. Because I think I might... Okay. Let's start by going to the junk room still. And
okay,
Genevieve, if you can wait a moment, even just a couple of minutes, I'll join you and find out where this dumbwaiter goes. Don't do anything too hasty.
Genevieve nods and sticks her head back inside the dumbwaiter. Okay, you go into the junk room. You notice the junk room has also been slightly shifted by the black light. You see the line of anchors on the wall, but you also see some paint.
Is the paint in a pattern on the wall?
It spells out a message which I am going to send to you in just a second.
Oh, good.
As you're studying it, both Vincent and Acadia come into the room. Acadia announces that she has found a way to exorcise the spirits if you would like.
That's exercise, not exercise, right?
Yes, exorcise.
Oh, but why would we?
That is completely fair. Emmeline starts poking around the room, looking for something.
What is she looking for? Can I ask her?
Well, I'm looking for where Miss Featherby was shot.
Oh, you think that she was shot in here because the harpoon is in here?
I'm assuming so, yes. So there's a harpoon gun in here.
Well, while she's looking for that, on the wall I see the words, "Light a fire under the moon that isn't east." And on each of the 4 anchors, 2 which have suns on them and 2 which have moons on them, there is a glyph that looks like a W, but it's rotated in each one. It looks like a W, then a 3, then an E, then an M. And each in turn has a lantern underneath it as well. Light a fire under the moon that isn't east. Well, I guess that leaves just one anchor on the far right, if I'm to take those words at face value. There's one anchor that has a moon that, rather than having an E on it, it has an M looking glyph. So, is the lantern underneath that one unlit at the moment?
It is unlit.
I guess I'll just take it at face value and light the moon that isn't east.
Aha. You do need something to light it with.
Mm-hmm. Do any of my compatriots have a lighter?
They pat their pockets. Nothing appears on them. But as you look at the anchors again, you look at your hand and you notice that the mark on your hand lines up with the symbol on the anchor, the MW3E or M.
Yes, that's right. How could I forget? all right. So if I hold up my hand like I'm about to high five someone, what does the letter look like from that angle?
It looks like an M.
Looks like an M. I feel like that is the way I would touch one of these things if I was to hypothetically be burned by one, I guess. So I feel like that lends itself again to the same conclusion of the far right anchor.
That feels right.
Oh, good. But I don't remember seeing any lighters. I have a rope I could rub with a stick. Have I seen anything that lights fires? Have I seen anything on fire?
The only thing you saw on fire was the envelope and the fort when it got struck by lightning. But
Right.
sadly, that is gone now. As you're poking around, Acadia comes up to you and hands you the walkie-talkie. Some officer's been trying to get through to Mango, but I don't know what to say. You seem to be in charge.
Okay, what are they saying on the radio?
It's Mango. Come in, Mango. Hello, Officer Mango. Come in, Mango.
I'm not sure if there's anything to get out of this interaction. I'll talk into it and say, Officer Mango has been incapacitated. Send backup.
We already have our hands full. You said you were Who is this?
This is his deputy. And what are your hands full with?
You told me to get back. Oh, you didn't. Officer Mango told me to get back to the burglary situation, so I did. He said he was coming back from the lighthouse with the suspects.
Which burglary?
The burglary that you do not know about until just now.
Yes. Yes, that one. The burglary of what?
The break-in that happened last night at a local scarcity jeweler's. There was a smash and grab. I just got the cameras working.
Mm-hmm. And the suspects were the residents of Wichita Fort?
Well, we figured it was local because we were able to close down the roads pretty quick and no one got in and out, so it has to be somewhere around here. Here, sorry, not British. They are definitely American.
Okay. Officer Mango was investigating a break-in of the Scarcity Corporation jewelry shop. I did hear from Anne that is a local shop. It does feel interesting that we had a theft scarcity related on the same night as the death of Horatio. You said you have the tape up. What does the person look like then?
Cameras caught someone in all black, rush in, smash the display case, grab a whole bunch of jewelry, and then run out. It looks like they smashed it with a stick or a bat.
Or a cane?
Possibility. That's why I want you here, or I wanted Officer Mango here to analyze the footage. In addition, we just got the autopsy report for the body.
And?
Well, toxicology suggests that the keeper was poisoned. He would have been dead before he hit the ground.
Venom, perhaps?
Yes, exactly. A venom, most likely from a snake, but we couldn't find any bite marks on him. He would have had to ingest it, but there was nothing in his stomach contents, so the poison has to be... But the poison is fast-acting, so unless he kissed or licked a snake, I can't even tell you how the poison got into his system. Unless you have an idea of what kind of snake it could be.
Eastward Mercer. You have that on file?
Eastward Mercer. You hear some clicking, clacking away, which is very interesting considering the fact that the outside world's all nightmares, see, so this could be all happening in your head and you have no idea. But, existential crisis notwithstanding, he gets back to you. Yes, it looks like Venom's highly potent, very fast-acting. It is deactivates in heat, goes from a dark red to a dark purple.
Deactivates in heat. Deactivates in heat. I pull out that list of ships. The murder weapon?
As you're pondering, staring at the incriminating envelope, you hear Emmeline scream and then collapse in the corner.
Great.
I hope now nice night. What?